Dude, I'm driving home from basically finishing the hiding an employee's face in his own store video. And I wanted to chat about kind of like some of the mental stuff, some of the behind the scenes, some of the stuff that I've been kind of like thinking over kind of over the last few days. First of all, look at that sunset, bro. That is absolutely gorgeous. That might be upside down for you. I apologize. Yeah, basically what I kind of wanted to talk about was a little bit of theology, a little bit of like spirituality, and kind of just like my opinions that have been changing over the last like even just like 5 months. I was at church last night, and I had a dream about this literally. I had a dream about this literally 2 nights ago, and the dream was, and I've described it before, I basically was walking down the New York street, like a street in New York, and there was this lemonade vendor, and he was selling lemonade, and I go up to him and I'm like, dude, like, honestly, I don't really have any money. Is it cool if I just have a lemonade? And he's like, no, dude, like, this is a business, like, you know, I gotta make a profit. I'm like, I understand, bro. So I'm like, okay. I start selling the people walking on the street. I'm like, okay, you know, come on, guys, like, there's this guy, he's selling lemonade, he's in New York, like, you know, you're only in New York like once, like, come on, like, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, I'm selling people and like nobody wants to buy the lemonade. And I end up like, there's this family that walks by, and they're walking down the street, and I'm like, come on, guys, like, you know, there's this guy selling lemonade, like, you know, it's a family experience, you get to support like a local business. And you know, they end up buying the lemonade. I'm like, okay. Then this jogger comes around the corner, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, hey, like, you know, your electrolytes are probably low. Like, you know, like, why don't you just, you know, there's this guy selling lemonade. Like, you know, you got to get like fuel to finish like your run. Buy some lemonade. And she does. And yeah, I kind of like, I keep selling people, and I keep like, you know, promoting like the lemonade business. And then eventually, like, I just feel like I feel good, and I just kind of start to walk like past like down the street. I'm like, all right, I'm done. And the guy, like the vendor, comes up to me and he's like, hey, like, here's a lemonade. And I was like, I'm like, dude, I don't have any money. He's like, it's okay, like, it's all good, just take the lemonade. And so I had it. And I talked to one of my friends about that dream in church, and I do believe that dreams are, you know, I'm still like, I guess my faith is still like a journey, and it will always be a journey, but I'm still pretty new to faith. And I was talking to, I was chatting with one of my friends, and he was basically like, dude, like I think that's God trying to tell you something. I think, you know, like the kind of dream state is like, obviously your flesh, like your body needs rest, but your spirit doesn't. Your spirit never rests. And so the dreams that you have, the dream state you get in, can reveal a lot about kind of your spirit. And so, you know, through a few conversations with some friends, right, like I was chatting with this guy, and I was like, dude, like, what if it isn't about the lemonade for me? And a bit of a metaphor here, I guess. And I'm still kind of like thinking about this, but the talk that they gave, this would have been 2 nights ago, actually. The talk that they gave 2 nights ago in church was basically about surrendering everything to God. And the idea with that is like, you know, God knows you better than you know yourself. God wants what's best for you. And so the idea of like basically surrendering everything, including all like, you know, your desires, your wants, your dreams. And, you know, for me at least, like, I do believe that like YouTube, this path, or wherever I'm going, is the path that God kind of like, I feel like he's calling me to be on this path. And I say that with a lot of like humility, and a lot of like, honestly, not ignorance, but I'm trying to like learn how to flow with life. I'm the type of person who always wants to like control everything and have fixed variables and like plan things out. And I'm just coming to this kind of like, I guess, idea that like maybe I can't plan all of this out. Maybe I can't perfectly plan, you know what I mean, some of the stuff that I feel as though I'm called to do, right? Like yeah, I don't know how much you guys know of my story, but I basically tried to quit YouTube at one point. I worked at like a supplement store. I was like kind of like not in a great place mentally. I was suffering during that period of time, and I was like, I'm done with YouTube. Like, I kind of had this video that really, really went bad, like just totally failed, and I was like, I'm done with YouTube. But the passion kept knocking at my door. It was like I'm still here, and it just felt like it kept like calling me. And it's weird because like, yeah, I tried to quit and I couldn't. Like, you know, it was like 9-8 months later, I was back making videos again. I couldn't stop. And so I do believe that, like, for me at least, it is like a calling for me, I guess. But the idea of surrendering like kind of this future life that I want for myself, like the idea of like, you know, oh, I want like this type of house, I want to be able to drive this type of car, like, it doesn't matter. And I kind of thought back to like how I was when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Like, I would just do like kind of like, I would build stuff in my room, like Lego. I'd use like cardboard and stuff, like I'd draw, I'd make like little Lego stop motion. I'd make like videos with my friends. And at the time, like, I wasn't focused on like, you know, I want this many subscribers, or I want this video to have this many views. Like, obviously, you know, doing this full time, like, I'm gonna have to get a certain amount of views to make a living. But I guess like just returning to this state of like childlike play almost, and curiosity, and just learning to kind of like let go. And I've been experimenting with that with kind of my most recent recording sessions, like the 2 most recent videos that I filmed. I kind of just tried to let go. I was like, you know what, like, and again, like, it is a journey for me, and so I do think about this a lot. I'm like, okay, like, what's the upside? What's the upside that, like, let's say there is a God, let's say he is calling me to do this, and let's say the path for me is already predetermined, like, he's got me, he's not going to let me fail, like, you know what I mean? The upside to that is I go in, I'm more confident, I'm not worried about videos, and I'm putting more of my mental effort towards that anyways. What's the downside? I'm wrong, right? Like, let's say God's not real. I'm wrong, okay? But you still get the benefits, is what I'm trying to say, right? You still get the peace of mind. You still get kind of like the clarity, I guess. And so, yeah, like, just kind of learning to let go, learning to kind of like, it's not my path, it's his path, and just kind of like, yeah, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here, to be honest, because like, yeah, this recording, I'm exhausted. Yeah, basically just the idea of like surrendering everything to God and saying, hey, like, if I don't get the, like, at church, I felt like God kind of was asking me a question, and he was like, this just kind of popped into my head. And again, I don't know if like how this really works. Like, I'm still new to like prayer and this stuff, but this question kind of popped into my head, and it was like, if you, like, obviously being able to support a family and kids and stuff, but if you make YouTube videos and that's what your career is, and you don't make $1 more to afford like the nice car, the house, the whatever, would you be happy? And I said that to one of my really good friends, and she was like, you know, Felix, I think that's God asking you, am I enough? And the problem with like striving for like all these like, you know, like Sigma grind set, like I'm gonna get the mansion and the Porsche 911, and like there's no end. You're not fulfilled. The only thing that has ever fulfilled me my entire life has not been indulging in porn, indulging in hookup culture, reaching a certain milestone on YouTube. It's not been being a certain weight, being a certain body fat percentage in the gym. It's not been the type of person that I date. It's not been the type of friends I have. It's literally been feeling God, feeling the universe, feeling that love, because I've felt it before. And there's literally so much of the time where I question it, I doubt it. But man, like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, it's weird because you've literally seen this, like me, like start talking about this kind of transformation in real time. You can look back to my old videos, earlier, like not even a year ago. And just the idea that like, you know, you feel this love and you let God into your life, and it's just this like unconditional, like complete, like beautiful love. And I guess just kind of learning to trust that. And it's like I feel like God's been doing a lot of work in my life. God's been like specifically around my addictions. Obviously I've spoken very openly about this on this channel, but like, you know, I've really struggled with pornography in the past. But over the last few months, like it's been this really kind of crazy change in my life. I'm not trying to dox myself here. Hang on. I literally just woke up again from a dream, dude. I don't know. I don't know how this is working. And they say that dreams is like your spirit. That's like the spirit realm. And I had this dream where I was in New York City and I was walking on the street. And I noticed this guy had a lemonade stand and these people were walking by, and I was like, man, like I kind of want some lemonade. So I go up to him and I was like, you know, I don't have any money right now, but could I have some lemonade? And he was like, at first he was like, no. But then I was like, okay, like what if I advertise for you? So I started like going up to people, like jumping up and down. I was like, guys, like come get some lemonade. Like, you know, you got a family. Like, what about, you know, fun family experience? You guys get some lemonade. You know, and like at first people weren't, but then they started coming and getting the lemonade. And then I was like, there was a runner that came by, and I was like, you know, you're running, like you need some electrolytes. Like, how is she gonna continue run? Like, you gotta get some lemonade. So then she got some lemonade, and then, you know, I just kept selling. And then after I kind of like started walking away and stuff, and this guy comes up and he gives me a glass, like he's like, here, do you want some lemonade? And I was like, I don't have any money still. Like, and he's like, dude, like it doesn't matter, like here, just take some lemonade. And then I don't know, I'm so emotional right now. And then as I'm walking like back down the street, he's like, dude, like you're gonna end up like you're gonna be big one day, like you're gonna end up on TV and stuff. And it wasn't about like the TV, like it wasn't about the people watching it, like it was just about like the idea of like getting there and like being called to do that, and like I guess making it. And so I woke up and I like started praying. I was like, God, like if you're actually gonna, not that it's about the TV, but it's about the success. And I was like, God, like if you're actually gonna put these like visions in my mind, like I just pray that you make it reality. Like it's felt like my life has been kind of like this track where, you know, yeah, maybe there's like been some momentum that's been built, but then this year there's just been so much like opportunity, like so many coincidences that I just like, they just can't be coincidences. Like just this like jumping, leaping opportunity where like even my own, like if I like kind of did it my own way, like I wouldn't have had this much opportunity, this much like skill increase, let's say, or like this much like fulfillment, or like I wouldn't have imagined being in this position right now like 9 months ago. Literally probably a year ago today, I mean, I would have been already started work, but like, you know, waking up in the morning, I just remember on my phone I had Eric's 10 million subscriber video downloaded like on my Photos app, and every morning like I would wake up, I'd grab my phone and I'd just watch that video from like start to finish, and I would just start crying because, again, not because of like the vanity or like whatever, but it's just like it was all his friends were there, and he just worked hard and he got this milestone, and he did it. Like and I don't know, I just maybe saw what I could be in that video. And it's like that video is so inspiring for me because, like, it's what kept me going. Like, every morning I would wake up and I just, like, I would have nobody. Like, I had, like, 3 friends, like, 2 close friends. Like, I think only one of them I told I made videos. I was just so cold. I felt so alone. I felt like I had nobody to talk to about any of my problems. Nobody I could be vulnerable with. But it's like in that moment, like every morning I would wake up and it was like, that was my vulnerability. Like, that's what I like truly, truly like wanted. Again, like, not because of the vanity, because it's like, but because like I would want nothing more than to achieve that milestone, like surrounded by a bunch of people that love me and that helped me get there and like who supported me. Oh, dude. And now, like, I'm having like dreams about this stuff now. Oh my gosh, bro. I think I'm gonna pray some more and then I'm gonna get to work this morning.